in this country, all these different cultures came. They have been totally assimilated. And one of them told me, he said, you know, wait for 2 or 3 generations. You will probably hear and think about Hinduism, not in practical day-to-day life, but probably in a museum or in some setting, libraries, where you'll find your Bhagavad Gita. And today, listening to all of you, I felt so proud, because those people who keep telling me those kind of things, that your culture, your identity, that you're so proud talking about, that it will no longer exist after a while. I think that they need to listen to all of you. Because today, as I heard you, I felt very, very strongly that our identity is going to stay, that our culture is going to thrive, and that it's needed at the present time. To all those people who have been so negative about us, I simply keep telling them that those who came before us, from England, from Ireland, from Germany, many other countries in Europe, and I say they look like you, and I tell them that my kids, they are not going to look like you. They'll still be brown. And even if they want to bleach their face, it's not going to change. And since they are going to stay brown, they'll keep their identity intact. But that is a very superficial way that I talk about it. But today, what you told me is much more profound, and profound in a fashion that what you are doing in all these organizations is absolutely astounding. I was at a Hindu Unity Day, Hindu Sangathan Divas in Houston. And probably you know that that is where many, many years ago they began it. And the year I was there 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I have been there twice, but they had 50 organizations. I want to congratulate you. The first time that you have done it, and you have 37, 38 organizations. And second, I am absolutely startled that you finished the program on time. We as Indians, and especially Hindus, may not have much else to offer. But once we have this thing in our hand, nobody can take it away from us. Nobody can speak more than you do on nothing. And amazingly, in 2 or 3 minutes, each one of you said profound wisdom at times, and I was very, very impressed. Last night, we were sitting together, and they said there are 37 organizations, and we are going to give them 3 minutes each. I said, no way. You can't do it. And by gum, you did it. So I'm deeply, deeply impressed. I also want to share with you the first time I went to Houston, and somebody stood up, as many of you have said, and said, this is the first time that I have seen people from all our organizations, Hindu organizations, together. And one of them said, he said, you know, until now, I had learned only one thing, that divided we stand, united we fall. United we fall, divided we stand. That each one can do wonderful work, but together we can't. And he was telling me about the temples where people are fighting each other. And he said, you know, amazing part is that here in Rotary Club, in corporations, in the universities, as Hindus, as Indians. We are not simply civil in our discourse, but we are leaders. But when we get together, even Bhagwan looks at us and says, what did I create? So I think the point simply is that I want to congratulate you. Congratulate you on two things. One, I was witness to what you did for the World Hindu Congress. You had volunteers in hundreds. You had executed it, obviously planned it, determined in order to see that it's a successful event, executed it beautifully, so my deepest congratulations. This morning, I was told to be here at 8:30. And I came in and I said, 8:30 means that I need to volunteer. What can I do? And then I saw dozens of people and very, very well executed, planned. They were doing all that work, and in about 15, 20 minutes, they were all prepared. And then amazingly, all of this works. There is something wrong, because we are known not for good organization, and we are not known for being able to do things effectively. And you did both, because you put together all this in a very short period of time, and this works. What's wrong? So congratulations on both those counts. I think I will be brief. I know that time doesn't stand still, and obviously you don't have unlimited patience. It's not inexhaustible. So, but let me simply remind you something that you know, that when somebody said, कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी, दुश्मन रहा है सालों, सारा जहां हमारा.
Wow.
And then was reminding us that all those people who had wonderful religions at one time, Babylonians, Egyptians, Aztecs, Mayans, great civilizations. You look back, Roman, you look back, Greek, where are they today? And here, you need to remember, and you do, 1,000 years of at times brutal repression. 1,000 years. 800 years of Muslim rule, 200 years of British rule, and after that today, still we are intact. I think the last speaker today told us that there are challenges, told us that at the present time from Bangladesh to Pakistan to many other places, Hindus are being persecuted, and he told us that Hindus are losing their esteemed place in the world community. But I want to remind my friend, he is absolutely right that there are challenges, but he also needs to do understand, in the last 20, 30 years, 40 years, there is a renaissance. In Bharat today, there are young people, not simply in Bharat, but even here, who feel very proud of being a Hindu, who are going back to their own culture. I chair a very small foundation called the Ubera Foundation. It's only about $8 million. And we do teacher training. I just came back from Denver. Yesterday we finished that week of teacher training. There were 17 of them. Never knew anything about India. These are middle school and high school teachers, all of them obviously Americans. And then they want to learn about, and we do simply Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism, dharmic traditions. And I was stunned that those 17 people, 16 of them want to go to Bharat and to understand this culture. And I was very, very pleased to see that. I'm very fortunate. I'm in a Christian university. I'm on the board of trustees, chair of their academic council. And I remember the first time that the president and the chair of the board asked me to serve on the board of trustees, and I asked him, I said, you know who I am? And they said, you're a Hindu. I said, yes, but people call me militant Hindu. And they said, that's all right. And I joined them. But before I joined them, I came home and my wife said, not yet. That not accept the board of trustees for a Christian university. And then they had prospective board members together in a retreat. And in that retreat, I did not know that, but she looked at the president and looked at the chair and said, do you believe in conversion? And both of them said emphatically, no. I came home and she said, you can serve on that board. And I want to share with you also that here in this country, today, young people, and I was very pleased to see the young people here, but not only young people, but especially Mataएं, Bhaineं, women were here. And to see them empowered and to see them as forceful as you can see around. It's not simply Me Too movement, but more than that. And I want to congratulate you. I think Chicago at one time called the second city and now called the third city. In my mind, it's the first city.
Wow.
You need to make sure that out of this place, what you showed today, 38, 40 organizations together and can, one word that from the very beginning I heard, collaborate, cooperate, work together. And I think this 1,000 years of slavery, when we lost all self-esteem, we barricaded our homes, windows, doors, because survival was the only issue. Today, it's more than survival. Today is thriving. Today, it is having in the international arena our own place, our own voice. And I'll conclude by saying, why do we need that? We need that because the heritage that we have, and where we talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or we talk about Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, they are not slogans. They are not slogans. They are way of life. That is what we believe in. And today what the world needs is that kind of not simply toleration of differences, but acceptance of differences. We go beyond that. We said toleration simply means that I'm superior to you and I tolerate you. We don't believe in that. We believe in saying that we accept you, we respect you, and we respect differences. Today, when the whole world feels, and then here I want to say that to you, Austria, Hungary, Poland, even in this country, where when they talk about nationalism, that nationalism means exclusive. That nationalism means we are the ones who own this place, We don't want you here. We don't want differences to see. You are not wanted. You are not welcome. That's not what Hindus did. That's not what Bharat did. We had from Jews to Zoroastrians to Christians to Buddhists, and now Dalai Lama and all those people. Many of you probably have gone, and you have seen Dharamsala, and from above Dharamsala where they are, it's all Tibetan. It's their culture. And we respect it. We have welcomed it. And we welcome all these people who are from around. So in today's world, where toleration is needed, we say acceptance, we say respect. And that is what Bharat has done. And so as Hindus, we feel legacy that we have, culture that we have, history that we have, all of that put together gives us an indication that the world needs us. When in this country with yoga, and I didn't say yoga.
Yes, yeah, good. Yeah.
But Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, and when the big headline on the front page says, "We are all Hindus," and the indication simply was that the values that we have, culture that we have, history that we have, it has got a place in this country. It has a need in this country. Not in only this country, but the entire world. And I think I asked myself, why not in this country have an imprint of our own culture in a way that they can have at least some in their own system, educational system. Look back, why shouldn't Kalidas be there? Why shouldn't our own literature have some say in this country which is not there? And I think finally I would say to you that your own kids, they are wonderful in computers, they are wonderful in sciences, they are going to be great doctors. Nobody can beat them in IT. What about humanities? What about social sciences? What about the law? We need to have an imprint on that part as well. So the day is going to come when Bharat's name, Hindu's name, Hindu values, they today are needed all over and they'll thrive all over. I want to thank you very much. You and I are simply instruments. You and I are tools in a way. You and I are happy to be part of that little small dent that we can make in order to see the world and humanity be better, and we as part of making it better. That is what rishis, sages and munis told us, and that's what we'll do. Thank you. They did not raise any voice. They did not say down. So I kept talking.
Exactly 20
And
minutes.
nicest thing is, I didn't look at that side.
Since you are in the law, we didn't want to.
Alright. Please sit. Please have a seat. Yes.
So those were indeed very profound words that we'll carry with us. So we have 3 more points. So we will have a concluding session here by Dr. Siddesh Shevde. This will be followed by a Shanti Mantra. And then I request all of you to gather for a group photo. You've all come together. It should be preserved in the photograph and it should be continued. And then there will be the networking lunch where we'll all get to have some lunch. So before calling Dr. Siddesh Shevde, I would briefly like to introduce him. So Dr. Siddesh Shevde is the national level Karyavaha of the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh, which is the General Secretary of the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh. He works as a scientist at British Petroleum, and he lives in Nepal.
Namaste everybody. Thank you for joining for today's Hindu Sanghatan Divas. Today we have 38 organizations joining us. Out of that, 8 are temple organizations, 9 are ethnical organizations, 5 are spiritual organizations, 7 are socio-cultural organizations, regional organizations are 8, and 1 volunteer organization. So very diverse background, diverse spectra of Bharat, as well as diverse spectra of age, diverse spectra of work, what we have seen in last 1.5 hours. So thank you everybody for joining. So what next? That is a particular question many of us may have. So we will keep meeting through in person, through Hindu Unity Day, Hindu Sanghatan Day every year in June. But we will be meeting in each other's organizations or each other's organizations events, and as well as through email, Facebook, social media. We all will be in touch. We all will be helping each other. I will just share 2 examples. What was the product of such Hindu Unity Days happened across the country. So Chicago, we are celebrating it for the first time, but in the other part of the country, it is happening for several years. So in the California, it is happening for many years, and 2 years back, there was a big efforts for textbook reviews. And all of us know that textbooks are getting reviewed every 10 years. All our kids are also learning those textbooks. So California initiated that process. So through Hindu Education Foundation, Hindu American Foundation, all the organizations came together and fought to remove all the negativity about Hinduism, negative about Bharat from our own kids' textbooks, particularly social sciences textbooks in middle school, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. And that happened a couple of years back in California. It was the product of such Hindu Unity Days happened there since last several years. We heard about Hurricane Harvey in Houston. So few hundred volunteers were working on ground. All of them Bharatiya origin, Hindu origin. They came together under the banner of Seva USA. So they worked together and they helped not only for our community, but the local American community in Hurricane Harvey. So these are a couple of examples, and we will also be in touch for anything happen wrong to the community, but definitely sharing each other's events, activities, complementing each other's work, helping each other's work, and learning from each other through various activities throughout the year. And we will meet again next year in Hindu Unity Day in the month of June. So thank you everybody for joining.